On January 2nd, 2014, a man on 4chan that went by no name other than Anonymous decided to commit suicide. He left the site and this world with nothing but these words posted on 4chan's X board. I'm taking a huge fucking risk in posting this, because if this is real, I'm gonna have one goddamned nightmare on my hands too. I'm already going against this man's wishes by letting this out, but I figured that this story needs to be known. So, I'm committing suicide soon after the recent events that have affected my life so profoundly. X. I usually lurk on poll, but after the first few weeks, I've decided that you guys are probably the best to explain this curse to, and hopefully find an explanation for this. To be fair on you guys, I'm gonna die anyway. By my own hands, or whatever it is that is getting closer to me. I'd rather die by my own hands, however. Commencing story dump 1 of 3. I'm 27, an accountant, married, no history of psychological trauma, and am considered by most people to be the nice guy who makes everybody laugh, as it is. So, please take this into account, as I'm not some 16-year-old emo kid who wants to kill myself on a daily basis, but I'm just over whatever the fuck this is that is haunting me. Whatever it is, it means myself and my family harm. And I feel the only way to end this curse is by ending myself. Okay. So, basically, it began 2 weeks ago at a friend's party. He became a police officer about 3 years ago, but this is the first time that I've been to a policeman's party, as it were. We all had some drinks, chatted, and had a good time. However, I made the stupid mistake of asking one of the police officers what was the most fucked up thing he's ever gone through while on the job, and oh, how I fucking wish I didn't ask that question. They all gave each other a, "Oh, we better not tell him" look. So I riled them on and asked them to tell me. They were all pretty drunk by this point, but my guess is they otherwise wouldn't have shared it. They told me that they hadn't told anybody this story due to the nature of it, and it probably being a liability on their employment. They told me that 2 of them were on patrol and came across a dilapidated house, absolutely run down and destitute. They got out of their patrol car and investigated for a bit, seeing some furniture inside, but all the windows were broken, and had to immediately leave on an emergency call, but that they would soon return. After their shift ended, a few of them returned to the house and entered through the broken windows. They shouted out to declare that they were police officers, but no one answered, despite hearing a thumping sound inside the house. Please remember that these are 30 to 40-year-old policemen with many years on the beat, so they've seen some fucked up things. Okay? What they told me next pretty much made everybody listen, including the police themselves, uneasy as fuck. They walked through the house trying to find the source of the thumping sound, making their way through the destitute home full of rubbish and waste, almost like it'd become a squatter's refuge. They neared the rear of the house where the noise was coming from and pulled their weapons, entering the room. The guy telling the story at this point kind of looks down at the floor with an emotionless gaze. I knew he wasn't trying to scare me or shit me around at this point, as the other cops there who had attended looked pretty uneasy too. We walked into the room and saw something in the corner. It looked like a naked, abused young girl with long black hair, but was facing away from us. Her back was purple with bruises and her hands hung by her side, long nails and scratches up her arms. Suddenly, the police officer went silent, whimpering a bit and taking a strong swig from his glass of whiskey. The rest followed and reminded him that he shouldn't tell me the story. "No," he said, "I need to tell somebody about this. I'm over not knowing if this shit was real or not, okay? Fuck it." We all walked towards the little girl, and she turned around. Her face looked like it had seen months of decay, but she was somehow alive. She let off this gurgling sound and leapt off the wall like a baby. But she was... Man, she was like 12 years old. How does a kid that old let off a sound like that? The group goes silent. Two of the police walk off pale as all hell. I feel cold as fuck and ask him what they did. He just replies, We ran. I mean, we're police, and we fucking ran, man. If you were there, you'd have done it too. That thing, whatever it was, it wasn't alive, but it was moving. It was a ghost, I tell you. He then took one last swig and told me not to go into it anymore, and walked off. The rest of the group looking at the floor and just silently drinking. I felt like somebody had just told me their mother just died or something. But to my stupidity, I decided to ask the youngest cop in the group where this house was. He just blurted out its location and walked off. They all walked off, all sat on opposite ends of the room, where the party continued and just sat there in isolation. So a few days later, I decided to check the place out. I mean, hey, I never do anything interesting, and I love horror movies and all that shit, but I'm not stupid enough to do this shit alone. And especially during the night, so I asked a friend to meet me there on a Saturday at midday just to be safe. I arrived at this house, and it matches the description perfectly. Okay, broken windows, furnished inside, dead lawn, and just had a creepy vibe about it. Like that house from The Grudge. You guys know that one? Yeah. So I wait in the car. I wait. Then I get a message on my phone that my friend got called into work. I was fucking pissed. So I start the engine and I'm about to drive off. But then I look up and see something walk through the house. It looked like a short woman. Maybe a child. I sit there for 10 minutes contemplating what to do, but it's broad daylight, and I think, why not? It might just be an injured child who is living in squalor. Maybe she needs help. So I get out of the car, walk to the front door, and knock. No answer. I knock again and shout, "Police, open up," just in case whatever it is scared of police. I don't know why I shouted that. I remember the police climbed through the window, so I do the same. I walk to the window and crawl through, and I'm immediately hit with this sense of dread. Like something just isn't right with the house. I stand there frozen with full predatory instinct on, darting around on the spot looking for any sign of the girl. But there was none. Sorry, right now I'm typing this, and she just walked past the room I'm in. I have to end this soon, so I'll try to keep the story short. I'm going to take those pills now. Please be patient. I want this to end. I live in Perth, Western Australia, by the way. If my suicide somehow makes it to the paper, don't let this story go pasta. I don't want her finding this out. I don't want her knowing this is why I died. Sorry about that. So I'll continue before she returns. I looked around the house, hear a child crying from the opposite end of the house, and slowly walk towards the sound. As I get closer, I hear the thumping. And what I saw next, I mean, I don't want to type it. All I have left now is the typing, but I don't want to to type it. It wasn't pleasant. I now believe in ghosts. I'll put it that way. Whatever that thing was, it was just like the police described. And even though I ran out of that house as soon as I could, she followed me somehow back home. She's in the house now, and I see her all the time. She doesn't like me. I don't know why. Those police are still okay. Why is she like this to me? I did nothing wrong. I tried to help her. My cats have been killed. My family has been in numerous tragedies, and I see her everywhere. I wake up knowing that she's watching. She's watching me now. I know it. The pills are kicking in now. I feel so relaxed. At least I'll go on my own grounds, but I'll finish the story now and hopefully pass in peace. I'm going to go have one last meal before it ends. Give me a moment. I'll return. I just hope somebody is reading this. It's 5 a.m. My wife is asleep. I don't want to wake her up. The child is here. I went to the kitchen and I saw its face. The sound it makes. I will never be at peace on this planet again. I need to speed this up. She knows what I'm doing. She wants me to go by her rage. I don't let her. I'm going to sit in the bath and electrocute myself now. The pills are taking too long. You're the least to read my words. Thank you for reading. Due to the effects of the pills, he could no longer type that last bit properly. Here's a translation for you. I need to speed this up. She knows what I'm doing. She wants me to go by her rage. I don't let her. I'm going to sit in the bath and electrocute myself now. The pills are taking too long. You are the last to read my words. Thank you for reading. I can't type anymore. My hands are so loose. Goodbye, guys. I hope my family does not face this suffering. There is evil in the world, and it is this monster. It's watching me at the door. Bye. OP went quiet after that. I know that posting this is going against his wishes, but people need to know.